Hey world, what's going on? So, I'm Gabrielle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to talk about narcissism, and as they say in the world, narcs. Let me tell you, never get into any kind of relationship, whether it's a business partnership, friendship, marriage, engagement, ministry, parenting foundation with a narcissistic person. One thing I learned in life from God is narcissism runs stronger and always will run stronger and heavier and more dominant in males over the females, because males struggle with pride and lust, and in their adulthood that's by their choosing, because any male can go to God and face the truth about how they still choose to function. That's demonic, satanic, perverted, contaminated, and against their identity, and goes against God. So that's what I've learned. One revelation I learned from God about narcissistic people is they if you study and understand Satan's nature and his personality, you got the narc. I call narcs, narcissistic people, Satan in the flesh.
Stop ad.
Satan in the flesh. So if you can begin to take time to study the characteristic traits and the personality of Satan and his nature, that's your narc in the flesh. And narcissism gonna always run stronger and heavier and more dominant in males. I'm a living witness, I know. Now for me, my first encounter with a narcissistic person was a female in my life, which is my mom. And she would get abusive every day, all day, very physical. Some narcs get physical, and I'll share with you some things from my life that I've learned through my own experiences with, starting with my mom, which set the tone for me to attract narcissistic males in a relationship. So for the female side, my mom would get physical when she couldn't get her way. No matter how soft tone I talk to her or how I say something, even when she's in the wrong, a narc will know they're in the wrong. And because you say it to them, even respectfully or humbly, they want you to bow down to their narcissism so much to the point where it will kill you. First kill you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically. Narcissistic people are not faithful. They're not loyal. They don't respect nobody. They don't even respect themselves. Narcissistic people, what I've learned now is like this. God is straight line. You can come to a narc direct. What the narc would do is do everything to go around that. They'll go around it. They don't like to face the truth. What they do is they project how they are on you. Like, let's say if they're a liar or they're manipulative or deceitful, when you have a conversation with them or a conflict where you're calling out what they just did to you or how they cheated on you, they would try to project like you're the liar, you're the manipulator, you're the deceiver. Narcs never like to face the truth about themselves. They pick, like, you know how when you give a child a plate and you say eat your food and it has vegetables on it, and then it has some chicken on it, and the child picks through the food on what parts they want to eat when you told them they're going to have to eat everything. That's how narcs are. They pick and choose what they want to face on their narcissistic level. They're not going to face it head on and be honest about what they already know about their narcissistic self. They're going to pick what they want according to their narcissistic delusional mindset, satanic mindset. Because a narcissistic person has Satan's mindset. I'm not being funny. I'm so serious. That's why everything they do is with a demonic motive of what they can get and draw out of you. You're supply to them. They love supply. They're worse than leeches and parasites and vampires. Narcissistic people, especially the males, are worse than leeches, parasites, and vampires. Okay? Because when they can't get their way or you call them out, what they do is they try to do they try to twist it on you. They like to twist and project, and if you do one wrong thing and they know your mistake, they magnify that. But when you're calling them out, like for instance, I was once with a narcissistic male, and what he would do was when I would talk in a conversation, he would always cut me off, and I would keep saying calmly, you keep cutting me off, or I would say, you don't let me talk. And he kept projecting, trying to twist the conversation. He never would face that. He would go around and call out something else. Or he'd try to talk about something else or jump onto something else in the conversation. That's what narcs do. You can come at them straight line with humility and respect and godly wisdom and understanding, they like to go around with perversion, manipulation, lying, and deceit, or anger, or yell, or cuss, or do all kind of stuff just to try to put fear in you. That's the thing. If you don't have fear of a narc, you terrify them. They're afraid of you. If you know who you are, or you got a bold stance about you, what they do is try to say, oh, if you're a female and you're dealing with a narcissistic male, especially if they have another culture belief and they dominant, what they're trying to say is, oh, you too difficult as a female. You too hard. You don't like to be called out. You don't like when somebody calling you out. No, you're not calling me out. You're projecting how you are. You're trying to twist me up in your narcissistic world like a snake and choke me out as your supply. Until I die, first mentally, emotionally, and my heart. And so what I've learned with narcissistic people who are like this and need healing and deliverance, they don't like to face them. They try to make you face you. And they try to make you feel delusional about the truth of what you see in them and what God is exposing about them to you. If you ask me, narcissistic people, you should not have children with them. You should not marry them. You shouldn't enter in no type of nothing with them. They need to be left alone, because until they choose to face themselves in and through God and not try to tell God how to heal them and deliver them, they need to be alone. Narcissistic people do not need to be entertained. It will be a waste of your time that you don't get back, and they're going to sabotage everything. No matter how you try to love them, how you try to get them to see that you are loved, no matter what you try to do in a pure innocent way or a godly way with a narc, they're not going to receive it. Another strong spirit that's in a narcissistic person's life is Leviathan. Leviathan is the king of pride, and that's why narcissism runs stronger in males, because pride has always been their downfall and lust. If you notice, when you're talking to a male who's a narc and it's not penetrating his heart or his mind, but he keeps boomeranging it back to you or projecting it back onto you, that's because Leviathan, the king of pride, is in his life really bad, and ain't nothing you're going to say going to penetrate him. You need to leave him alone. Believe me, I've been there, done that, and I've gotten rid of males who were narcs in my life. I don't even, look, even my mom, God has not even allowed her back in my life until she faced God. What am I saying to you? Instead of trying to get the narc to see, you can't. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. Until that narcissistic person lets God in and do things on God's term and let God have his will and his way with them and love on them, open their eyes to see, heal, and deliver them, they need to be left alone, because they are satanic in their nature. They're satanic in their personality. They're satanic in their characteristics. They're satanic. And what they love to do, a narcissistic person loves to provoke. They love to find loopholes and find your vulnerability. And they love to provoke. They love to find out what your weakness is. They love to hover over everything you do, see everything that you got going on, so they can know where to target you at and hook you on their narcissism. Catch that by your spirit. They want to know where to target you at and hook you on their narcissism, to where you so out of it, you losing you dying to you. Okay? So this is raw and unfiltered about narcissism. Narcissistic people, because remember, like I said earlier, it's going to always run stronger and heavier in males, because of pride and lust runs stronger and heavier in males. This is why you should go ahead and don't have kids with a narcissistic person. Don't bond with them in any kind of way. Pray for them. Love them from a distance. Guard your heart with the word of God, God's wisdom and understanding and common sense. Okay? And keep it moving. I've done it. Hold on one second. I've done it, and you have to do it, because if you don't, they're not only going to drain you, they will kill you. What do I mean when I say kill you? Meaning kill the identity of who you are, kill the love, and sabotage what you have. I remember I had an ex. No matter how much I love him, every time when I begin to get vulnerable with him, and he's very narcissistic, still is to this day, still is till this very day narcissistic, I went on and blocked him on every side, deleted everything I had him, you name it, because he loves being, some people love their demons. They love being narcissistic because they feel like that's power for them. That's how they hide. That's how they hide their identity crisis. Narcissistic people are very insecure. They're fragile. They're insecure. They have low self-esteem. They lack common sense. They take time to like study books, do all this stuff and look into this and do that. And so they can look and appear intelligent. I'm so eloquent. I'm so smart. I know this. You don't know that. They don't have a clue. They're terrified of people like you. People who spend time with God, people who are in relationship with God, people who know who they are, people who are loved, people who experience what they've never experienced, which is love. People who are successful. See, they go after those who are what they've never been and desire. So a narc is really the weakest link. So what they do is they mirror what they desire, but that's not who they are. So they really faker than plastic. How Satan is. Like how Satan presents himself to you through concerning what you desire and need as like that is what it is, and it's not. That's how narcs are. Narcs are very satanic in their nature. They're satanic in their nature. They present themselves to you as something that they're not, but that's not who they are. But the minute you stand your ground and call them out, you begin to see the narc come forth. And sometimes they get physical, okay? And then they go to other people and they twist up stuff and they have fools who believe them. Uh-oh. See, only a fool will entertain a narc. So what I want to say to you, don't be a fool for the narc. That ain't cool. All right. If you have any questions or comments for me about narcissism or my own personal testimonies with narcs, especially males, message me. I don't mind. You can message me privately or comment on this video publicly. It's all love. All right. So with that being said, this is about narcissistic people, narcissism. All it means is Satan in the flesh. If you can understand Satan, you can understand the narc. Till next time, love.